Tonight, another look at EWTN's Catholic in America poll. With just 4 weeks before the midterm elections, the exclusive EWTN News Nightly poll by McLaughlin and Associates explores Catholics' views on key political issues. Tonight, we look at immigration. When asked how concerned Catholics are about immigration, 40% say extremely concerned, 25% say very, and 19% say they are moderately concerned. Now, the numbers for regular church-going Catholics were slightly higher, and when asked on their views on specific immigration policies, beginning with fixing the immigration system by building a wall, here's what we found out. 45% support building a wall, while 49% oppose it. We also explored policies restricting the number of immigrants allowed into the United States, and we asked whether the U.S. should tighten or ease restrictions on migrants and refugees entering the U.S. 61% support tighter restrictions, 33% oppose tighter restriction, and 48% support easing restrictions. 46% were against that idea. It looks like it goes pretty evenly there. Joining us now is Theresa Cardinal Brown, Director of Immigration and Cross-Border Policy at the Bipartisan Policy Center. Theresa, welcome back to the program.
I'm glad to be here, Lauren.
Catholics we polled, as you just saw, are in favor of tightening restrictions on migrants and refugees. The Trump administration aimed to do just that, but was criticized roundly for the way that the zero tolerance program was implemented. Now we have this Inspector General report outlining the problems, and they say that they confirm that it wasn't done very well. Critics have called it a crisis of their own creation. What impact is immigration and this going to have on the midterms?
Well, it's interesting to me because immigration is always one of those issues that polls somewhere in the top 5 or 6 for people when you ask what are they most concerned about. This year it's higher. Your polls show that a lot of Catholics are concerned. National polling shows immigration maybe in the 1 or 2 issues, and certainly this administration is making it an election year issue, both touting their successes, but then they run up against something like this that criticizes some of their failures.
Well, this zero tolerance policy resulted in nearly 3,000 children being separated from their parents, and the media went crazy over that. It's still hard to pin down how many exactly are separated, and so you're seeing the trickle of stories continue about it. The IG report says some central database to track them and share the information between agencies was virtually non-existent.
It was never actually created. Yeah. One of the things the IG report pointed out fairly clearly is that the government agencies charged with implementing this policy had no time to prepare, no resources given to implement it, and never considered what might happen if they were to try to reunite these people. So these disparate systems were not able to come together at the court order to reunite these families, and so everyone was playing a lot of catch-up.
Well, and DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, is saying that this is the difficulty of implementing poor immigration laws. They're saying, hey, not our fault.
Well, I'd say it's a difficulty of implementing immigration laws poorly. They did a poor job of implementing this. Yes, there are problems with the immigration laws, but they also did a very poor job of implementing what the administration told them to do. And again, you can argue whether or not the policy was correct. As you mentioned, some of your Catholics polls might say that they want more restrictions, but clearly this was not the way people expected this to go.
What changes need to be made so that the system works properly?
Well, there's lots of different parts of the system. Immigration is extremely complicated, but the issue that's drawing the most attention right now is this issue of families arriving at the U.S.-Mexico border. And fundamentally, our systems of processing people we catch coming across the U.S.-Mexico border were designed when 90–95% of the people we caught were Mexicans, they were adult males, single, and they were coming for work.
And they were seeking economic stability.
They were seeking
It wasn't families seeking amnesty.
Exactly. This is a different group of people. They are from Central America. They're not from Mexico. They can't be sent right back to Mexico. And they're asking for asylum. And our law says we have to give them the chance to ask for asylum and make their case. We also don't have the facilities to process or deal with children and families at the border. So
I saw that firsthand. I was in Texas and saw just the there's chaos, really.
Indeed, indeed. They don't have separate facilities for kids or for families or for mothers and children. It wasn't built that way. So one thing we do need to look at is just, if this is the new normal at our border, if this is the flow that we can expect, then we need to rethink how we staff up, resource, and the infrastructure we have down at the border for dealing with these cases.
And one thing that they said was, when Trump was elected, this was the feeling of many Border Patrol agents, it stopped it because they thought something was going to happen right away. When it didn't, the numbers came back up again. Thank you so much, Theresa Cardinal Brown, Director of Immigration and Cross-Border Policy at the Bipartisan Policy Center.